Are you ready? Now, this is our final session for today. A volunteer to read for us this topic.
Understanding risk and how to protect ourselves.
Understanding risk and how to protect ourselves. Understanding risk and how to protect ourselves. By the end of the session, we'll be able to do what? Michael?
Identify risks we face in life.
Identify risks we face in life. We are able to identify risks we face in
Life.
number 2.
Categorize risks.
We'll be able to put risk in categories. To put it in categories. Number 3.
Decide on means of protection.
We shall decide on the means we want to use for protection against risks. What's it? You can come inside the house, there is space. Inside here. The last one.
Savings for emergency.
We shall learn how to do savings for Remember the other time we looked at savings for financial future. We looked at savings that can guide you towards financial future. And now here we are looking at savings for emergency. In your opinion, what is risk? What is risk? What is risk? Hey, risk. Risk is risky.
It is a decision someone takes knowing that he either gets a profit or a loss.
Doing something knowing that you will either lose or win.
Yes.
What is risk?
Something that you can do to prevent yourself from happening.
Yeah. Risk is a possibility of suffering loss or harm.
Oh, a profit. Sometimes you take a risk and you get a profit. For example, betting.
So risk is a foreseeable danger. You see a danger ahead of you that can result into damage. That may result into damage. That's risk. What is a danger? What is a danger? Danger. What is it?
Danger is a situation where something unwelcome happens.
A danger is a situation where something you don't want happens. Okay? Let's think about the risks we face in our lives. What are some of the risks we face in our lives?
What do you want to say? You wanted pregnant.
And I wanted to bring the
You write the risks here. Write those risks here, quickly. You take 2 minutes, you write your risks. Get some of the risks you face in life, you write them down. Write those risks. You write the risks we face in life. The risks we face in life.
It's a risk. You see that it's a risk, but you still go.
What are some of the risks we face in life? Write them down very quickly.
You said you face in life. Oh, risks you face in life. This one is I don't know what it is.
ariko muri kuzikura muri kumenya ngo
Have you finished?
niba mufite ibitabo bingahe
Mine is here.
You come in the front and you read for us what
You put them here.
can you put it there for us?
You collect them. You collect the wrist and bring them.
with the names
We are displaying them here. If you are finished writing your wrist, bring it.
human you put your name
You collect
you
them. Bring the wrist.
ulikuandika jela peni fitego hata za wenyewe
Bring the wrists here. Where are they?
Yes.
No.
you put your location also facility those are not
Here, a risk we are considering something you see. Something you see before, yes? But you continue doing it either to get a profit or a loss. Now, can you see the electricity that will shock you when you touch it? You foresee a danger.
also virginity
Now that is a risk. That one is a danger. Now Okusakiba, that is a risk. Because of going still. That is a risk. Not all people who still die.
but all people who die still
Now you have mixed the risks and dangers. That is a danger also. It's not a risk.
privacy
That is a private part. Even getting married is a risk.
no praying sex you go to pray while you know you will lose but you still pray
Now how can you consider death a risk? It's not a risk.
you infer your death as a risk
someone's wife and you start
Is that what?
because at any time
Have you all brought your wrists here? Are we all here?
Yeah.
Who's left? Wrist?
Can I read them?
Wrist?
Can I read them? Can I help you to read them?
No.
Yeah.
No.
You help to read.
cheating on your wife.
Let her help us to read.
Where is that?
There are many ways.
So, here we have
They are not hearing. You come here.
Listen. Chief.
I'm seeing here the first risk, fire outbreaks.
Fire outbreaks.
We shall oppose some points.
Flooding.
The second one I'm seeing is flooding.
Flooding.
Are you hearing?
We shall oppose some points.
Flooding. And what about fire outbreaks?
That is not
Even these are not fire outbreaks. Not as
Someone's problem can become a risk. Why?
natural.
According to what you do, you may risk, you know that sometimes electricity circuit may happen, yet it is your risk. Are you seeing? It may be a risk.
we shall go on.
Flooding,
We
it
shall,
may be a risk
we
of a
shall do
farmer.
this later.
Let us first read and we. Hey.
The reason you're
You mean you have put something different?
Another risk we have loss in business. Another one accident. Another one theft.
Okay.
Another one failure in exams.
Continue.
That one is
Another one
It is my problem.
we have death. Death is a
this
risk.
is a risk. Let's say that digging a toilet. Someone may this toilet is 20 meters. It is a risk of dying.
That is
Now
called
digging itself it is a
A
risk,
risk,
but death
not
is
death.
a challenge.
Also, it's natural.
that is called
We shall talk about this point.
employment
Here we
risk.
have theft. It's already mentioned. Okay, we have fire over what?
Fire hazards.
Fire hazards. Here we have another risk. Lending money to someone.
That is a risk.
We have another one here. Taking a loan from the bank is a risk.
Hey.
Borrowing money to someone is a risk. Investing is also a risk.
Now the following is
Continue.
hunger is a risk.
Hang is not a risk.
It's a risk. You are risking your life to death.
Then we have sickness. Guys, first listen. The second one here is VIP. Please, let's listen. The second one here is sickness.
Sickness is not a risk.
It's not a risk.
Let her read, please.
Let me first finish, then we shall comment after. Now the third one is witchcraft. The fourth one is accident. The fifth one is fire outbreak. The following is death. She has mentioned it. Witchcraft also. Loss in business. Poverty. Also death is here. Loss, fail. The last one here is fire. Accidents. Loss. Death and sickness. Now the following one is giving out debt, serving without handbooks, then early adultery. Adultery.
Adultery.
It is adultery. There is nothing like adultery.
That is early marriage.
To buy something without being given a receipt.
Yeah.
Now the following is being too being too genius towards financial services, investing your life to find and trustworthy financial institution. Problem: dying before hunting or leaving your goals.
That is a problem.
Now the last one is failure.
Failure is
Okay. Thank you very much. Give me all of those. Yeah.
We have comments here.
Risks which
Yeah.
are in sentences. Those ones we have to
Okay.
We have comments.
Okay, generally we can look up to this. Some of the risks we have, unemployment is risky. It's a risk. You don't know when you lose your job. Boss wakes up in the morning, he's angry at you, you lose your job. It's risky, right? Number 2, accidents related to work. You are at work, you get an accident, maybe you are operating a machine, or you are a taxi driver, you drive for someone, or you ride a motorcycle, you get an accident and lose maybe your limb. It's also risk. Sickness is risk. Death is risk. Fire is risk. Fire outbreaks.
when you're cooking.
What happens to our family? What happens to our family when these risks happen to us? What happens? What outcomes or impact can it bring to our families?
Loss of lives.
Poverty,
Loss of lives.
loss of lives.
Single.
Loss, yeah, you lose property,
Be single.
you become single.
They
Okay.
become orphans.
And what is the impact on your incomes and finances as a family?
They backslide.
Especially when a person who faced the risk was a person who supports the family financially, then the family can go through some financial hardships when such a risk. Why are we talking about this? It's because as you can't plan to become rich if you are not good at managing risks. Hey, listen, you cannot plan to become rich if you aren't good at managing what? Risks. If you learn how to manage the risks, then the principles of becoming successful, you are reaching somewhere. You are moving. It is what someone said when we talked about savings. The one who said, how can I say, what if my house falls? Now here we are.
It is a risk.
That's a risk. Are we together? That's a risk that you have to be prepared for. You have to know that risk will happen in all your endeavors, and we need to get ourselves covered. So risks are inevitable; they happen. Whether you want, I told you that life happens. You can't stop it from happening. Whether you like it or not, house will fall, fires will happen, sickness will come. All these challenges, they will happen. Which other risk?
Keeping money in the VSA group. For example, someone keeping the books may run with the money.
Yeah, you save in a VSL, and then the chairman and treasurer, they decide to run away with your money. All that is risky. We want now to classify risk. We want to classify it according to their probability and severity. We want to classify risk. There are some risks which are fluid. They're frequent. They happen oftenly. They always happen. And there are those which are medium. They don't happen always, just medium. And there are those that are rare. They don't usually happen. Of all those risks, there are risks that are very significant. There are others that are fairly significant, and others which are very, very significant. So, classifying them. Which risk do you think, among the risks we mentioned, which risk do you think is frequent? Which one do you think happens frequently?
Death.
Death happens frequently. You always die.
Every day, person
Every day you
dies.
die.
Every day you die.
I know.
Unemployment.
Sickness.
How many times have you died?
Sickness.
People. But sickness, everyone daily.
Let's do this.
Whether you agree or not, every day a person dies.
And goes away. But you die once. But you seek many things.
I have never been sick since I came this way.
And you have not yet died.
So here, this is frequently, medium, rare.
Studying Bible with someone. Go on the radio and listen to announcements. Every day people die.
It's like they don't announce those who are sick, but they die after being sick.
Not very significant. Fairly significant. Very significant.
Kama ukifanya hivi
Among the risks we mentioned, where does unemployment fall?
Rare.
It's rare. Is it fairly significant or not significant? Is it very significant?
Fairly.
Fair. So unemployment is here. Unemployment. Okay. How about accidents? Where do they fall?
medium.
No, frequently.
They are frequent.
And very significant.
Are they frequent and very significant?
Yes.
Are you sure? Okay, accidents. How about fire?
Medium.
Rare.
Fire is rare. Is it significant? Not very significant?
Not-
Fair?
Not very.
Not very significant. Fire.
Fire, how many times have we seen it?
How about death? Death is very significant. Very significant. Is it frequent, medium, or rare?
Frequent.
Frequent. Oh my God.
It's rare.
It is rare. Yes. Death.
Hey, because you have not yet died. That's why it's
How about
rare.
sickness? Sickness.
Frequent.
Sickness is frequent. Is it very significant? Fair.
Very.
Very significant. Sickness. Okay. Okay. Now looking at this, failure, is failure a risk? The cards you wrote, is failure a risk?
No.
Hunger,
No.
witchcraft,
No.
fire outbreak,
Yes.
and we have placed it where?
Fire.
They are rare and not very significant. Death,
Yes.
yeah, we have placed it here. It is very significant and it's rare. How about theft? Where do we place theft? Is it frequent?
No.
Frequent. Is it very significant?
Very significant.
Very significant. Theft. Theft. Another one. Lending money. Lending to someone. Where is it a risk?
Yeah,
Then
Lending
It's a
money
risk.
to someone.
Lending
Lending
someone
money to someone. Where do you put it? Frequent, rare, medium, rare.
rare.
Rare, very significant, not very, fairly, where?
Fairly.
Lending.
Lending is a risk. It's a risk.
It's a risk. Flooding. Flooding.
A risk.
Where do we put it? Is it very frequent, medium, rare?
Rare, not significant.
Not significant. Flooding. Floods. It is rare.
Very significant.
Taking a loan from a financial service.
That is a risk.
Is it a risk? Frequent, medium, rare?
Medium.
Medium.
Medium. Fairly, very, or not significant?
Very.
Very.
Fairly.
It's very.
Very significant.
Borrowing is
How
significant.
many loans do you have?
If now they still in your business and you don't have money to return back to the bank, isn't that a risk?
It's rare.
So as you can see, some risks are very likely to happen, and others have higher consequences when they happen. So we can say that accidents, sickness, theft, borrowing, death, these are very significant risks. And then the risks that are rare, that rarely happen, is lending, fire, flooding, as you have said. And then those that are rare, unemployment is also among, though it's fairly significant. So that's what happens. So how do we protect ourselves from these risks? How do we protect ourselves? Insurance. Okay, that's one cover. You can protect yourself using insurance. How to protect ourselves against risk. Now, we shall see how to take measures that will help us protect against risks. Let's put out some measures. I want you to open page 145. Page 145. Are you there? 145. What do you see? You see an umbrella.
Protecting, that is the measure to preventing rain.
Using an umbrella.
It is a measure of preventing rain.
Rain is a risk.
Preventing the floods.
How do you prevent floods with an umbrella?
Remove with it.
So this umbrella protects you against risks that you might run. Under the umbrella, I want you to indicate the measures you could take to stop the risk assigned to your group. There will be just 5 groups. Let me call this one group. Huh? Group 2. Group 3. Group 4. And then you 2. Group 5. Huh? You get a piece of paper. Group number 5. You will talk about death. How you can protect yourself.
From dying.
Yeah, from dying. And then this group, you protect yourself from sickness. Okay? From sickness. This group, protect yourself from unemployment. This group here, protect yourself from fire. Fire. And then that group, protect yourself from what? You protect yourself from what?
This one.
From safety.
From accidents. Accidents. You do quickly write down protective measures. Get a piece of paper, write down very quickly. Yeah.
Take your paper.
I've put the first one. Keeping away flammable substances from the house. This one means that you should not keep like petrol into the house. These gases, leaving the gas open into the house where you sleep. If you are to put a jerrycan of petrol, put it in the store. Losing your life gas.
Have you finished? Yes. All right. Now, group one, where are you?
We are here.
Group one, you are here. Stop where you have reached and then read for us. How can you protect yourself from unemployment?
Samuel, you are so Group 1 on our views about protecting ourselves from unemployment. Gaining on job training to achieve more skills related to the job you are on. Transferring the risk to the third party, for example, an insurance company. Signing long-term contracts with the company with the possibility of renewal. Predicting the impact of risk and prepare against it through saving for future development.
Okay. Good. Clap for them. Group number 2. Group number 2. Where are you? Group number 2. You.
Hey, we are executive.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
We are talking about fire. How you can protect yourself from fire outbreak. The first point is keeping away flammable substances from your house. We are talking about flammable substances like petrol. When you have petrol, don't keep it into the house. You put it in a store to avoid maybe what if the fire gets your house, something cannot boost that petrol to burn you. Then another thing, learning and following procedures of using flammable things. For example, if you are to smoke, don't smoke on a petrol station. Sometimes they say that put down the engine when you have a car to prevent that from fire outbreak. Then using legal technicians. If you are wiring, for example, this electricity, you have to look for people who are experienced to wire your house. Not every person to get Edward and wire for you. Then at the end of the day, the house gets fire. So those are what we have managed to look for to avoid fire outbreaks.
Clap for them. Group number 3.
We are 4.
Number 3, where are you?
These people.
Tell us, what are you talking about? Accents?
We are talking about accidents.
Uh-huh.
First of all, we have to joining insurance company. Another one is working as a group to prevent accident.
Joining an insurance company, working with a group to avoid.
Working in a group to
How?
avoid accident.
Okay.
Here I mean, like if we are working here as a group, if one of us gets an accident, other people can take the part and continue with the work. And we also have safety. It's also an accident.
Mm.
How can we protect ourselves from safety? It's by putting, let me say, CCTV cameras or security guard. We are done.
Okay. Number 4. You clap for these ones.
So, I'll be short and precise.
And you keep
Ways of preventing ourselves from sickness. 1. Sleeping under well-treated mosquito nets. Drinking boiled water. I hope these points are self-explanatory.
It is drinking clean boiled water.
That's my suggestion.
You can boil and still you keep it in a dirty place. Then it will better.
Feeding on balanced diet.
Like
Going for medical checkups. Washing hands after visiting toilets.
Yeah. Clap for them. Number 5.
Ours is simple. How can you protect yourself
Dying.
from dying? It is, we have only one answer. And it means a lot. Avoid sins. Because the end result of sinning is death.
Havana.
Clap for them.
this man is joking.
You are joking.
Alright. Alright.
Which one?
People, we have people who smoke food, find people, but they still
So you have to understand that there are protective measures against all risks that we encounter in our lives. Okay? There are protective measures, so we have to protect ourselves. So, some of the people, I want you to remember that protection happens. Does protection happen before the risk or after the risk has occurred?
both sides.
Protection happens
It is better to
Before.
prevention is better than cure.
before the risk happens.
And sometimes you learn after you have experienced.
From a neighbor.
From a neighbor.
What do you do when the risk happens? What do you do when it happens? You react, don't you?
Yes.
You react. So there is what we call protective measures and reaction measures. You can either protect yourself or you react after it has happened. What type of now there are some risks. We can do some things against risk, and one of them during emergencies or these protection steps or reaction steps, they can all guide us to do away with risk, whether it has not yet happened or it has happened. What actions do you think are protective steps? Which actions do you think they are protective? How can you protect yourself from risk?
Saving.
You save. Number 2, you can save. You can take a loan, or you sell assets,
Insure.
or you have insurance. Save, take loan, insure, sell asset. Sell asset. Selling asset. Is it part of the protection? No.
Aid.
Asking for aid or help.
So we can ask. We can put that in reaction. Selling an asset. Sell asset. Ask for aid.
Borrow loan.
Find new ways to earn money.
Borrow
Minimize your expenditure.
and minimize expenditure. work long hours. All those we call them protection what? Reaction measures. Reaction measures. What are the advantages of protective measures? What are the advantages of protective measures? In other words, advantages of saving, joining a saving group or buying insurance. What are the advantages of all
They
that?
protect the risks.
They protect you from risks. You have money to cover some of the costs and it becomes less stressful. So you have money to cover the costs. Yeah, you have money. What other advantage?
Savings reduces the tendency of borrowing.
Yeah, reduces. It helps you from becoming indebted. Huh? What else is an advantage?
Like insurance, it helps a person or the family where you are not, where you are in your absence.
It
continue.
shifts the burden.
Yeah, it shifts the burden. Insurance will help you to cover.
Cover.
What are the disadvantages of protective measures? What are the disadvantages?
You can go on insurance and you don't die.
You don't die. You join insurance and you don't face any risks. You spend money, spend on insurance,
On the risk and it doesn't happen.
and there's no risk. Requires discipline. It's not easy. Is it easy to save? So it requires discipline. Requires discipline, sacrifice. Okay, tell me, what are the advantages of reaction steps? What are the advantages of reaction steps? Borrowing money, selling your assets, going to work long hours, those are reaction assets. What are the advantages?
Here,
Uh-huh.
You may only pay when something happens.
Hey, you pay only when something happens. Not like insurance, you pay and nothing happens. You pay only when
Something happens.
something happens.
Even you don't disturb the government.
Hey,
You don't need to
We have
sacrifice
seen people saying the
desires.
government
hey, you don't sacrifice desires. You meet your meet your
where
desires.
are you?
You meet that
You
desire.
can't invest your surplus cash.
You invest your surplus cash.
You can't sit here and look at surplus.
In other things.
What are the disadvantages? What are the disadvantages of reaction steps?
They reduce the chances of earning income in the future. Because you borrow money, you start working as you pay. So they
You earn as you pay, so
they
it
reduce chances
means
of earning
you are
income.
repaying. You are repaying.
They're repaying of loan.
You may even
using
repay on
income,
interest.
using
Pay
income.
interest.
Hey,
What else?
Straight.
It reduces the ability of borrowing. Okay. Ainaka sasi. Okay, let's review the importance of having savings and an emergency fund. Let's review some of the importances of having some savings and emergency fund. Yeah.
helps in
In an emergency.
no, in the future expansion of your investments or business. That's a very important.
Our lecturer
You do not
shows
touch on your 10%. Exactly. The other,
No, that 10%, it is a saving. What is the importance of that
now we
10%?
are on the importance of the emergency savings.
Emergency savings.
You don't touch on your normal saving.
So we've seen that different risks occur and they have different costs. So when you have secured an emergency fund for yourself, as you save, you can decide how much will be your emergency fund. For example, you have your savings for your future financial plans and investing, but you have another saving, it could be 10% or any other. You keep generating it for emergence. Every time you have an emergence, it's what you touch. You don't touch the other. Yeah. You remember that? Yeah. So having these savings available and having the emergency fund can help you to meet some of the costs these risks have brought to you. So it's very important to cope with these risks as they arise.
As they always say that great men are risk takers.
Great men are risk takers. They're ready to handle it.
You are fearing to sin that you don't die, and you are saying you are
This guy
risking.
you are seeing on the internet.
that if you,
So,
you
how
have
much?
persons-
The question is, how much should I set aside for emergence? How much?
10%.
My salary is
500.
500.
I have for
No, we are talking about 13,000 per month.
So, for emergencies, the money you earn every month, how much is it? For example, 13,000. If that's what you earn every month, you strive in your emergency fund to have times 3. There you are sure that you can meet most of the emergencies you face.
If you multiply by 3,
that is
Your income, your monthly income, save 3 times the monthly income you get.
so that
You may not save it. You don't save it 1 month. You can even take a year to have this one in your account. But when you have it, you are sure you have money which is 3 times your monthly income. Then you are okay.
so that
When you spend it on an emergency, strive to refill immediately. Strive to put it back. Yeah.
it must be more than 3 times to your salary.
3
monthly
times to your
income.
monthly salary.
So in percentage
times.
that is
Yeah.
30%.
3 times.
If you per month you get 200,000,
100.
Then you
That
keep
means-
600,000.
you must keep the
Wait, is
600,000.
about
As your emergency fund.
150%.
It is like one.
There you are sure you will be able to
Not
meet
every year.
most of the things you
Every
encounter.
time.
Yeah.
No, not every time. It is something that you must
Keep
be
it
kept
constant.
constant.
When you have an emergency and you use part of it, try so much to refill. There you are sure you will never touch your investment fund. Okay? There you are very sure. Then you are secure.
You don't forget it with nicotine.
We will not save.
Can you imagine? When you die, you die.
Okay? So the more dependents you have, the more money you will need to keep. If you are single, like you may not need so much. But if you have a big family, like you may need to keep more money. Yeah? Open page 147. 147.
This is the last session.
Session.
147. Are you there? Read case study number 1 very fast.
What? Mary has decided to build her emergency fund. To do it, she decides to create a table that indicates all had their family income during last year. The table looks like this. January, that is month and amount in dollars. January, 1,000, 4,000, 1,470. Feb, 1,400. March, 1,470. April, 1,400. May, 1,550. June, 1,550. July, 1,550. August, 1,470. September, 1,400. October, 1,470. November, 1,400. December, 1,510.
Okay.
The total is $17,840.
We are practicing how to put aside some emergency fund. What's the total amount the family's character earns in 12 months? What's the total amount?
17,840.
Okay. There might be some fixed income or variable income, income that keeps on changing constantly. What is the family's average monthly income? On average, what's the average monthly income?
1,400.
It's 1,550.
$1,550.
$550.
What is the total amount? What is the total amount they need to keep set aside for emergencies? What's the total amount they need to set aside for emergencies?
Use a calculator.
So you get what they
That is
earn
it.
every month times
That
3.
That is 4,000.
No nice.
40,028. No,
28.
280.
28 something.
40,280.
Okay.
That is paying
Okay, we can go with that line.
Keep it up.
So looking at that, you can base on that to calculate your own emergency fund. So do you have an emergency fund set aside? Who of you?
No.
Who of you has an emergency fund set aside? Do you have an emergency fund? You have an emergency fund 3 times your monthly income. Who of you has it?
The
So
first
it's
question.
it's high time.
Yes, it is our first lesson. We are going to have.
Yeah, it's high time we start planning our emergency fund. You go to the bank, you tell them, I want to open an account for my emergency fund. Find a product that is appropriate for you. You know how you feel big when you have some cash in the bank?
I know.
How do you walk when you have money on your pocket?
Dragging around.
Even if you borrowed it?
Booga challenge.
No one will defeat you.
The whole road is yours.
You can even chase your managers.
Uyu munsi ntiyagiye kureba amatungo ye mu mureke yi
Natural speakers. Come here.
ibyo uri kuvuga niyo bagacu.
Get a card. Get a card.
Medicines.
Okay. A family that is trying to saving a lot of money. If a family is trying to save much more money, for example, maybe more than 10%, maybe 30%, or even a higher percentage. When a family is trying to save more money, what are the challenges they face?
When the family
When a family is trying to save up a lot of money, what are the challenges they may encounter?
They will
Less
sacrifice
expenditure.
desires.
It means they may not access enough food at home,
Debts.
clothing.
Debts may not come.
Debts may not come, but their daily lifestyle may be compromised. Huh?
Because
It may-
when I'm
it-
saving, I first see what I'm going to spend the money to. And I save the money that cannot hurt me.
Yeah, you spend what shouldn't hurt you. So how would you advise a family that is trying to save up much money at once? What would you advise them? Just as we said, follow the principle. A 10%, a 10 here, 10 here, saving for financial investment, a 10% here for emergencies, until you catch up the discipline without compromising the needs of the family. Because it's very important to take care of your family. Single boys, it's very important to take care of you and your girlfriend, right? You start learning the responsibility when you're still young.
Singles, have you heard?
Mama wawarai. Where is your mom? This is the Meshach. This is Duncan. Hey, this is Green.
You are single.
My children, I move with them. I still have one store.
I still have my children in the store.
Ngo mukazi aliyoko nazunguka ukabana nazambara nabo.
Okay, this last activity, we are looking at the challenges of putting money aside as an emergency fund.
Which page? Still on the same page?
This book is way bigger. You don't have that page. 430.
This is
So challenges of putting money aside. Challenges of putting money aside for an emergency fund. Someone says, I prefer to give all my earnings to my parents and family. Family obligations, particularly strong in the case of young people and migrants. Young people, sometimes they save up or give money to their family to use. Yeah, because you're a child at home, you are obliged to take care of your mother or father, or because they are unable maybe to handle the responsibility of the whole family. So how would you advise this person, because they are failing to put aside an emergency fund because they have an obligation of taking care of their mothers and parents and everyone? What's the advice you can give them? Every money I work for, I have to give it to my family. What advice do you give to such a
To
person?
start saving.
Save for personal emergencies. You can take care of yourself when your family can't help you. Yeah. So save for your emergencies. Because if you always earn to support your family, if you always earn to support your family, you see, sometimes you may face an emergency and your family is unable to handle.
You can save both for yourself and for the family. Because
So this
if
point-
the family lies only on you,
Hmm.
it means that you have to save for the whole family and for yourself.
And if you're saving for the family and even for yourself, they have also to reduce
Let
on the
the-
expenditures.
Okay.
investing.
Another one says, when I keep money in my room, I am afraid it might be stolen or lost. They say, we have to spend all the money because I can't save for emergencies, because if I keep it in my room, it can be stolen or lost. What advice do you give that person?
Create an account in a bank.
Or
give it to me.
Opening an account, a bank
Yeah,
account.
save in a bank.
Give it to me, no problem. Bring that money.
You want the key for the
Or you
account.
keep it in the store.
Yours.
In the stomach. Ah, at least in the back.
will break your stomach.
That's for the case of loss of money. Another one says, my income is irregular, seasonal. I don't know how much I'll get at the end of the month because I do chilaka here, I do commission here and there. It's irregular. So saving, what can you advise this person? Income is irregular, so they don't know how to do a saving plan. How do you advise such a person?
On the little which you get, save.
Chagua percentage ambayo
Save varying amounts depending on how much you are paid on particular occasions. Just as you said, if it is a 10%, it will be different amount than what you saved last month, but it's still a 10% of your amount. So you decide how much you'll be saving. You can decide it based on a percentage. Yeah, so save various amounts. Irregular income. Okay. I have to use all my disposable income to pay off debts. I have a lot of debts, so all the money that remains I pay debts. How do you advise that person? How?
Reduce on the debts and to pay the debts at a percentage.
How do you pay
Debts. So this person has a lot of debts. They use all their disposable income to pay debts. Advice?
To pay the debts on a percentage.
So draw up a timetable for paying off your debts. But don't forget to save even when you are paying debts. It's important, right? Yeah. Draw a timetable to pay your debts. I can barely cover my basic needs. So how can I save for emergencies when even my basic needs I'm unable to cover them? That's the question we almost started with.
I first complete my personal needs before I go to save.
You advise that person.
You change the type of job you're doing.
You are no longer saving now.
You do your best to cut out unnecessary expenditures. There are expenditures you can first hold. Do away with unnecessary expenditure. Girlfriend is unnecessary.
It is necessary, yes.
They are necessary.
It is necessary. You feed the mouth also down there.
They have their own families where they come from.
Then when you
You
see
eat
how
up
she's
and
smart,
down.
you tell her, "It's
Most
not
of
like
mine,
the
so
one who made
As
it."
if you're my girlfriend and you're my fiancé, we talk about that.
we talk about love, not about money expenditure.
You have to talk about everything.
Everything.
That's what you're doing.
Are you everything?
But you have to feed up and down. That is there.
And physically.
You feed the mouth also
But also the girlfriend that asks me more money. I quit you.
So you remember that. I want you to remember that emergencies, they mean immediate cost to the family. When they happen, it is an immediate cost. Money has to go out immediately. So these may include medical bills. They may include rebuilding because of disaster, stolen goods, sicknesses, loss, all these. So what if the principal earner of the family, the one who is taking care of the family, handling family finances, if they are the ones who have encountered that challenge, if you have not saved any emergency funds aside, then you are sure where your family will end will be so difficult. We all have stories we have gone through. Life has happened when principal earners of our family have encountered some big emergencies that we even almost failed to go to school. Yeah? So it can really affect if you haven't planned for these emergencies. So your emergency fund is intended to cover these expenses relatively, minor emergencies, you see? So most of you will not be able to put aside money for the major emergencies. such as the long course of medical treatment. If someone has chronic sicknesses, you may not be in position to handle that. Or death of a family, you may not be in position to handle that. But if you plan for emergencies, you are more likely going to achieve your goals. Whatever you are planning, saving for your better financial future, if you are not planning for emergencies, more likely you are not going to achieve your goals. Because the moment those emergencies happen, you will be tempted to go and withdraw your savings. You will be tempted to go and sell your goat. You will be tempted to sell your asset. You will be tempted to borrow. Anything will happen. So it will all distract your financial future and financial plan. So it's good you plan for it. You have to have an emergency fund so you avoid having to draw your savings, which you had planned to start a business with. How will you grow if you are using these savings to handle your emergencies? So it's very important that we secure our financial future so that we don't touch our investments, we don't touch savings for our businesses, and that will put us on the right road to our financial success. Thank you so much.
Welcome.